Nice to meet you all. So many people from so many different places. This is welcome, and thank you so much for being a part of this launch. So while we're also still waiting for more of our colleagues who maybe might be moving from one activity to joining this one, we are just going to take a little bit of time to have a music jam with Rem from the GP in El Salvador taking us through it. And we'll also be able at some point to just share some of the words to the song that will be shared with us by Rem. So please, Rem, feel free to come right in. And for the rest of us, we can continue putting in our information in the chat.
Thank you, Mwanja. I'm so happy to be part of this toolkit that we have built, we have created together with a lot of people. This toolkit, it's we're gonna see today. We're gonna get in today. It's from create changes, do funny things while we do activism, what we do. Funny things. We try to change the world. So what we're going to do now, I'm gonna play a song for you. Can you hear me? Show me your thumbs up if you can hear it clearly. Turn your mic on and you can sing along. This is a song from Patti Smith called People Have the Power. In my in my sleeping, I was broken, but my dream in Lincoln Air, the forum of shining bodies, where the pure air is recognized, and my sense newly open, awaken that the people have the power to redeem the world upon the meek. The grace is decreed of the rule. People have the power. People have power. People have the power. People have the power. Battle aspect, because suspect, and sit here, and the ironies see themselves, because the people have their ears, and the shivers of the stars, they lay beneath, among the stars, we change visions and lighthouse to waste the dark. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. People have the power. Where they were deserts, I found fountains like green, water rise, and we stroll together, with none to love or criticize, and the lover in the land. You have to sing along with me if you're a Spanish speaker or not. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 La, 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 People have the power.
Have the power.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rem. If you can, unmute your mic and just give some salutations or appreciation to Rem with whatever sound you want to make.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nice to hear the different voices. and the people have the power for sure. This is such an amazing way to start. Thank you so much, Rem, for singing with us. I know that at some point the connection was breaking a little bit, but these are the beautiful, small little beautiful things of being able to meet like this virtually. So sometimes there'll be those mishaps and sometimes not so much. So it's really nice that despite it all, we're still able to hear the beautiful song, the instrument. It was really nice. Thank you so much for that. Maybe, who knows, if we have a little bit more time, we can try to sneak in another song. Great. So right now, we're just going to get into the agenda. What we have for the small amount of time for today's launch together is, first we started off with a little bit of a welcome, and if there's still anybody who's just getting in, we are just sharing with each other. We're writing in the chat a little bit about ourselves, so we're writing our name, our pronouns, the country, the group or organization that we come from. So please feel free to read through and get to know some of the people in the space, but also to put in some of your information as well. And then we also had this music jam, this revolutionary music jam that Rem was able to take us through, and such lovely music that we heard from there. And along with some of the different introductions that keep coming, we also earlier on had introduced the team that has been working closely with this toolkit, that probably knows this toolkit very well, has been sitting on it for quite a lot of time. And just for the sake of maybe people who are only now joining us, I'll just run through the team once more. And that is myself here, Mwanja. I'm currently in Tanzania. And then we have Sheng, who is currently in Bangladesh. We have also Soren, who is in Denmark. We have Anjana in Nepal, Aziz in Palestine. We have Nadine in the US, and we have Rem in El Salvador, and finally Shanil in Bangladesh. But also just to mention that there have been other countries that have been supporting us and other colleagues who are not here. So also big appreciation to them. So once we get through this agenda, the next thing that we'll be doing is that we're going to have a small exercise that we'll do together, and we'll be using the screen to do this exercise. And then after the exercise that we'll be getting to do together, we'll also just look a little bit into the toolkit. We'll get to hear a little bit about why the toolkit, what is BATMo itself, and just get a little bit of an opportunity to look at the card deck, and also just hear a little bit of questions from everybody. If there are any questions or comments, you can also just put them in the chat throughout the entire time that we're having this launch together. Then we'll do some breakout rooms where we'll be testing some of the creative action tools, and we'll have a little bit of time together to just go into the website and see how we can actually access a lot of the resources attached to this toolkit. You will have facilitators from amongst the team to be able to support you through that process. So looking forward to that as well. Then we'll have a little bit of a question and answer session where we'll be hearing a little bit more from some colleagues who've been able to try out this toolkit and use it in different ways, and just hear some of their feedback about how it's been able to use that. Then we will go through a very quick evaluation and close at the end of it. Just a kind reminder to ensure that you have your mic turned off or muted when you're not speaking. And of course, if you'd like to speak, you can always turn it on and we can give you the space to do that. Great. So now on your screen, you should be able to see this beautiful slide, which has all these beautiful stars, but this is a spectrogram which has on one end, if you've never done any creative actions before, that is the end, that the most extreme end, or the orange end. And then at the far right end is the blue side, which has, if you've ever been in a position to lead creative actions or to plan them and you're constantly involved in them. And then if you don't fit into any of the two extreme ends, there's also all this space in the middle, right from whenever it's not at the tip of the ends, any space in the middle. If maybe you have an idea about creative nonviolent action, what it is, maybe you are not that comfortable but interested, maybe you've heard about it a little bit, but maybe haven't tried it as much, that's also the place that you can put it. So what we'll be doing as a group is that we're going to spend time being able to place the little, so there are 3 ways in which we'll do it. So one of the ways that we'll do it is that we are going to be able to, you could use some of the little stars that are there. I think it's not just stars, the stars and moon, the different shapes that we have there. You'll be able to just share that and put your star or the moon, whatever it is that you choose to pick on, and put it anywhere on the spectrogram that applies to you. So if you are very familiar with the creative nonviolent action, any kind of creative nonviolent action, you can be able to place it at the extreme right, which is the blue side, more towards the blue. If you've never done any of it before, you've heard of it but haven't been involved, or maybe you're terrified, you can also put it at the far left. And any place in between is also fine, and you can be able to do that. So I've also just shared a link there to a presentation where you can be able to see and drag some of the different shapes. But alternatively, you can also use the annotation, which is found in Zoom. How you can access it is at the very top of your screen, which should tell you about who's sharing the screen. There's a part that says view options. You get the view options there, and you just scroll to the third, I think it's the third word, which is annotate, and you should be able to find ways to annotate using that. Another way is if you are not in a position to be able to do any of the 2 options, you can just write which side it is that you're more close to in the chat, and the team and I will be able to support you with putting either an annotation or just being able to put a shape. So if you're not able to engage directly with the screen, you can also put in the chat, you can also put in the chat where exactly it is that you fall in this spectrogram. I hope that is clear. If that's not clear, I can keep on going with the instructions, but just put a thumbs up. I can already see people are putting in different parts. Yes, we have a few people who are at the far right, hearts, but actually we also have somebody at the far left. Great to have you there also. Yes, we have a few people in the middle, actually 1 person in the middle, many others almost in the middle. And in the chat, we also have some responses. I'd just like to ask for support from the team to be able to help with some of those responses that are coming in. But from what I can read so far in the responses, we have some orange, some green, some far right green. Great. And if you're struggling with finding a way to engage with the activity, or if you do not understand the activity that we're doing, please also, you can raise your hand, or you can write to me or anybody else from the team to just support, and then I will be able to get some of your input as well. But this is perfect. Thank you so much to everybody who's able to put in something, and everybody who's writing in the chat. This is so great. So the significance of the colors, the blue side is more if you're very familiar with creative nonviolent action, then you'll be able to put something closer to that side. And if you've never done it before, you can also, that's more around the orange side, and you can put something there. Great. I'll just give a few more seconds in case anybody is trying to put that down, and also for anyone else who might still need some clarity, just a few more seconds to engage with this. And you can also write in the chat which side you fall into. So also thank you to Findy, who was able to also just write right there, not necessarily the color, but also the position, that's fine too. Great. Okay. Perfect. So now we have a very beautiful spectrogram showing on the screen with all these different submissions from everybody. Hopefully everybody. And you can still keep on even after we're done with this slide, if you still have the link. But what we're able to see now is that we have many people who are also more towards having had experience with creative nonviolent action. But at the same time, we also have a very pretty group there with the lovely hearts and the stars and the ticks, who also do not have or are not familiar with creative nonviolent action. So I think it's nice to say that it's a mixed group, a balanced group of people that we have in the space. And I'm just going to end at this point with this part of the program. But please feel free, if you'd like to still put it in. It's really good to know who's in the space. It's also good to know that we can also pull out on some of the different experiences for those who've tried it as well. Great. Thank you. So at this point in time, I am just going to invite Soren, who will just take us through the next part.
Thanks, Monja, and thanks you, Rem, once again for the beautiful music. Thank you all for coming and participating in this little spectrum exercise. And as I could see of that spectrum, there's a lot of experience in this room already. So we're really, really happy that you joined. My name is Soren. I am the movement and organizing lead at Action 8. And together with this brilliant team that we put behind the BATMo curriculum. As we know that that strategic planning is essential for actually driving effective actions in our movements, having minded educators and trainers within our groups is a really, really core and essential piece of the work. So BATMo, the Beautiful Action Training Modules, is really to serve those of you who are educators and trainers in movements and groups with a curriculum for nonviolent action that contains the best-in-class resources around the globe that we have curated for you in collaboration with the beautiful Trouble, the prankster activist global gang of creatives, and the global platforms, our youth activism hubs around the globe. So sourcing resources to help all of you who are educators and trainers in movements to do the best job ever. So I'll basically leave the floor for Chanel to take us through what is this resource actually and how could you get it? Chanel.
Thank you, Soren. So Soren already mentions what BATMo is. So let's walk through the BATMo. It's now live in our website, in Beautiful Trouble website. So we will just go there and explore what actually it is. BATMo is designed with 11 modules and lots of cards. So I will just show you what type of card are there. And if you click on this link, and it will directly reach you in this space of Beautiful Trouble. And you will, if you click on hover over the training part, then you will find these options just left side of you. And if you click on the trainer, and in the beneath of that, there are other languages are there. It's now available in 4 languages. So if you click on the trainer, then it will directly reach you to the card deck page. These are the beautiful cards, which card we can use in our training, activity, organizing nonviolent peoples, or some other purpose we can use these things. And these are completely free. If you go there, then yeah, that's it. These are the beautiful card. You can also see my background also. So if you just click on this card, it will give you option to download this card. Currently, the English card are available, and we're also working to make the other language card available very soon. It will be open for the other audience. So it is a printable card. And the most important thing is, if you have internet connections, and if you want to know more about this card, about the methodology, about the approach, tactics, or strategy that we've followed for these whole curriculums, then if you just scan these things, with your mobile phone, it will directly reach you in the original documents or original modules, but you can learn more about this thing. So I will now hand over to dig out more about what actually these modules are. I will hand over to you, Shen. Shen will travel with you this module. Over to you, Shen.
Thank you, Shanil, for helping us go through that, how to access the Beautiful Trouble, the card decks at the Beautiful Trouble website. And now I'm just going to go through you what are the different modules in this toolkit. So Shanil mentioned that there are 11 modules, and 7 of these modules are actually more on content for nonviolent action. And the module 1 is basically about learning from history, sharing nonviolent action stories with 5 training activities. And in this module, we basically reviews nonviolent action history to help you place your strategic choices within a broader history of social movements and powerfully ground the practice of nonviolent action. And on module 2 is basically finding common ground, setting vision and principles. These are tools to help nonviolent action groups to set their campaign or organization's vision and values or principles to guide them to be more effective in their planning and implementations of activities. In module 3 is about laying groundwork for strategic planning, assessment tools, and analysis. This module is on how to use assessment and analysis, the process of gathering and then processing the information as a bridge from developing your vision to developing your campaign strategy scenarios. And on module 4 is about crafting strategic plan, integrating analysis into campaign design plus planning. So this module bridges the journey from strategic assessment to implementation with activities to help a group understand the wider picture and connect it to the concrete actions required to advance a campaign. And then the module 5 is actually about delivering on strategic plan using implementation tools. So this module provides guidance for developing an implementation plan, including identifying specific tactics and the people and resources needed to achieve the goals of a campaign. And then on module 6 is about getting creative, designing innovative action, which supports the use of innovative action tactics as a noticeable characteristic of a successful campaign. And then on module 7 is about handling conflict creatively. It's exploring responses within plus beyond the group. And this module will help you prepare and practice your options for communicating clearly and handling conflict skillfully. And this will also help you build your capacity to be more effective facilitators, organizers, and activists. So in each of the module, you will see around 4 to 7 training activities that you can actually use in your training. Meanwhile, the 4 remaining modules, the next slide, yes, thank you, Soren. The 4 remaining modules are more on the process. The module 8 is about awesome facilitation ideas and encouragement for nonviolent action trainers. And this is basically a guiding principles for trainers. And then on module 9, we have prepared a lot of group energizers that you can use in the opening or in between or closing your training. As we know, great energizers activities are useful at different points in the training because it helps the group to know one another, re-energize if they have lost their momentum, or spark people to think in new ways if they got stuck. And then on module 10, it's about different collection of decision-making tools. Strong groups benefit from good decision-making processes that help each person bring their own experience, understanding, and level of motivation into their group dynamic constructively. And then the module 11 is about debrief and evaluation tools. As we all know, debriefing and evaluation are a key step to help trainers and participants reflect, learn, share, and consolidate their learning. So if you later, as we go through the different modules in the breakout rooms, we will actually show you and find out that if you click in each of the module, you will find that in each module, it contains a snapshot, short introduction, exercises, further information, and training activity. So this is the brief introduction to the BATMo modules, and shortly we'll also be going to the breakout rooms. But the question is, who is BATMo for? Who should use this toolkit? Well, the good news is BATMo is actually for everyone. Like if you're entry level or experienced trainers, facilitators, educators in the field of nonviolent action, people power, and civil resistance who are looking for curated materials. And there's no rule in using the BATMo toolkit. You can either start from module 1 or you can go to the different modules that actually address your needs or interests. So at this point, we are going through the different breakout rooms, and it will be in different languages. So Nadine will help us go through that breakout rooms, and you can choose which language you want to go, either it's in Bangla or Spanish, English, Nepalese, and Arabic.
Great. Thank you, Sheng. Thank you, Shanil. Thank you, Mwanja, Soren, Rem, everybody for joining us today. We have had over 100 people in the room with us right now from all over the world. Really happy that you're here to join us to launch BATMo. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. You have a choice of you will have to put yourself in your own breakout room. And we hope that you will join them so that we can have about 10 or 15 minutes to go through the website. We'll answer some of the questions that you have in the chat about how to access the cards, how to find the modules, how to click through, all that stuff in the breakout rooms before we come back and play a game together. So we have an Arabic breakout room that will be facilitated by Aziz in Palestine. We have a Bangla breakout room that will be facilitated by Shanil in Bangladesh. We have a Spanish breakout room facilitated by Rem in El Salvador, a Nepali breakout room that will be facilitated by Anjana, and in English, 2 English breakout rooms. So we hope to split people up so there's not too much of an overload. One facilitated by Mwanja and the other one facilitated by Sheng. And I'll remain in the big room to help people find their breakout room. So right now I'm going to open all the rooms. Please join one, and we will happily answer all your questions and go through how to access the cards and everything else. The rooms are now open. Please feel free to assign yourself to a breakout room and have a great conversation, and we'll bring you back in about 10 or 15 minutes.
I want to get the word to Aziz from Palestine. Go ahead, Aziz.
Actually, we had a great discussion in the Arabic room. I'm glad that we were able also to see how people are interested to know how they can access and how can they use the tools more. So getting more and more excited. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Soren. Thank you, everybody. So now we're going to hear a bit from the experiences of people who already use the BATMo, because we told you we've been working on it for some time and we've been able to apply it in our platforms, in our trainings. So we're going to hear from some of our colleagues how they've been able, about their experiences, how they've been able to apply. So to start with, we're going to start with Shanil from Bangladesh. Like I think Arif and Joy will be sharing their experiences. Do we have you there, guys?
Yes, I already noticed Arif is here, and I just want to add another colleague with me who will also share his experience. Johir also will be there. He work with the person with disability. So let's give the floor to Arif. Arif, could you please share your experience, how you use these tools in your own activity, in your training room or outside?
Sure. Thank you, Shanil bhai. This is Arif from the Global Platform Bangladesh. Basically, a few weeks ago, we facilitated, we conducted some of the cards from BATMo module. Last week, we conducted training on artistic activism, and we used almost 3 or 4 tools from this module. like pillar of power tools. We tried to use a smart for objective formulation. We tried to use another module to analysis our context for designing activities. I have some observation and feedback from my participants side, especially to analyze the context. We used 5Ws tools. Design or Ws tools is working very well from our participants' side, and they are feeling very comfortable to do it. But another tool that is pillar of power. When I used this tool from some of the challenges from our participants, especially if I wanna share, like when we were trying to identify the institutions, especially which are very much relevant with the issues to make influence, and when they are trying to make it in triangle pillar side, they were a little bit confused, like to identify the institutions, especially. And in our module, we're using 5 or 6 example. I think these examples are making some trouble or barrier for the participant side. Another tool that we use to analyze this problem, that is problem tree tools. To use this tool, participant feels very comfortable as from the their end. But in this tool, we are trying to identify the contributing factors. Like we are identifying the direct cause, underlying cause, or effect of any problems to identify and analyze the issues, and we are trying to identify the contributing factors from two ends. One is from the upper side and another is from inner side. To identify the contributing factors, participants were facing some troubles and challenges, but when we are sharing some examples of contributing factors, that make them very much clear regarding issues. So I would like to request Shanil Bhai and team, we can use some of the examples of these tools, especially on contributing factors. I think it will help the facilitator or trainer as like as participants to realize it very clearly. And another tool I have used in my training, that was, hello.
Yes, we can hear you, but the connection is breaking a bit.
Yeah, I'm just facing trouble connection side. Okay, that was designing innovative action part, and I was trying to merge two tools to do it. One was superhero exercise, and another was imagining and dreaming village. When they were trying to be a superhero, I think it was very challenging from them side, because they were fixed in a box. To be a superhero, they were I think feel some difficulties. How can I be a superhero or Superman to make change in my society, to break all of the struggles and challenges, and to find out very easy solution. But when they tried again and again to be a superhero in their imagination, at that time it helps them to imagine a beautiful and colorful dream village, like where there's no trouble, where there's no problem, where there's no issue to make change. When significantly in an on batch, I tried to do it separately. One exercise was focused on superhero exercise, and another was to imagine and draw a beautiful village without any problem. And another training, I tried to make it compiled way. I tried to make it in marked way. Firstly, just I tried to do an exercise to be a superhero. Then after 5 minutes, when they were sharing their imagination, they like, if I can be a superhero, I will kick all of the problems and troubles relevant with SRHR issues. And next time when I was asking them to imagine a beautiful village, a colorful village without any trouble, without any issue regarding SRHR, their dreaming, their imagination was very much clear, and they were very easy, and they were very comfortable to draw a beautiful village for their planning. It's, I think, all from my end, Shamil bhai.
Thank you so much, Arif. Thank you. Now, can you hear from you, Joy? You want to share as well?
Oh, hello everyone. Am I audible?
But could you please just like do it in less than 4 minutes, if it's possible, please?
Yes, I think I can.
Please, thank you.
Hi, I'm Joy. Yeah, I'm Joy. I'm currently working as a fellow in Action Aid Bangladesh, and my experience is based on the day-long session conducted on Module 5 and Module 7 with 12 grassroots youth activists from Nilphamari, which is in the northern part of Bangladesh. So the main objectives of this session were to introduce about BATMo to the grassroots youth activists who have been working in the Nilphamari district on different thematic issues on social, economic, and other issues, and to conduct different exercises in Module 5 and Module 7 with the young people, and take their feedback from the exercises. So this day-long session was divided into two parts. The first part was for Module 5, and the second part was for Module 7. So in Module 5, I have explained the importance of strategic planning and how to combine their vision with action while taking the goals or objectives of a strategy or campaign and turning them into actionable step-by-step implementation process plans. After a brief discussion with the participants on their role in different important activism, child marriage was selected as a theme of the prevalent problem in 3 hours, and the participants were divided into two groups. One group was assigned to design a protest campaign in front. The other group was assigned to design social media to prevent child marriage. So the key findings from Module 5 was that firstly, the participants clearly understood the SMART methodology, and they actively participated in designing their respective campaigns using this method. The second one is that participants continued the second exercise, which is to calendarize using the SMART method, and they calendarized 2 campaigns within the given time. For the third point, the point of intervention exercise, the participants took a bit more time to grasp the idea of the 6 points of intervention. So they have also shared their feedback that the exercise of this points of intervention should be more diverse. That's the feedback they have provided, and they also energetically completed the final 2 exercises. So while sharing the feedbacks, participants emphasized providing more in-depth training on the SMART method. Participants further expressed that they incorporated many of the aspects of this method in their planning and implementation process, but most of them didn't know about this method, and they were very much willing to learn more about the SMART method. And about the Module 7, which was a very interactive module, we have briefly discussed about different types of conflicts and how to prepare and practice for effective and skillfully handling conflicts while engaging in nonviolent action. So continuing the theme on child marriage, the participants actively engaged in the exercises and shared their personal and collective experiences in handling conflicts. This part actually lasted for about 2 hours. So the key findings of this module were that the participants provided positive feedback for this module and expressed their interest in the exercises, in the different exercises. Secondly, in the exercises, participants actually creatively and effectively responded to the different conflict scenarios, which was very much a very positive sign. So thirdly, the participants performed a diverse range of approaches individually and in a group to prepare for effective response in various conflict scenarios through these exercises. And lastly, participants actually better understood the key concepts of conflict management in nonviolent action, like escalation, de-escalation, dialogue versus debate, etc. So this is the feedback from my side. Thank you all for giving me the time to speak. I wish you all a good health. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joy. It's very, very nice to hear your feedback and your experience from this. This makes us feel even more proud, so thank you. So now we can move to you, Sheng and Monja. Can you please tell us?
It is. We have another person, Johirul.
Yes.
Shared.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Johir.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I will share my experience on this campaign planning with smart method. It seems okay to complete it. I planned this method used to this 16 days activism of art campaign of deaf community. Deaf community is explain his violence for his own and try to some different way to women's violence from his to our art campaign. So I will I already worked this campaign for Smart Tools to specific our goal to achieve this campaign implementation. It's our people with the disabilities community and sharing my method and implemented to in next week. This seems okay from our side because this is an amazing tool to implement our online campaign and others campaign to reach our community people, to engage our participation and our ensuring inclusive environment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. It's very good to hear from you. Okay, so now I will pass it to you, Saren, or to you, Nadine. Yes.
Take it away, Nadine. I'll share my screen. Thank you so much. From Bangladesh, experiences from working both within campaigns and as supportive trainers to a lot of really important struggles. Thanks a bunch. Over to you, Nadine. Let me share my screen and I'll shut up.
No, thank you, everybody. We're still so excited you're all here. We're going to really quickly go through what it might look like to use the toolbox and play the game. And we'll do it really, really fast. So, and I know people have been online for maybe an hour, so shake it out, get ready. Let's just say you're in the middle of a game. You're in the middle of you're beginning a training with people who don't know much or maybe have not participated in any kind of nonviolent action or people power. So we find ourselves here on the BATMo page, and we think we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to click through module 1. So let's look at the next slide. When we click through module 1, it will take us to learning from history, sharing nonviolent action stories. And I just want to mention a couple things that maybe wasn't clear. We pulled all this together, a whole team of us, and you met a lot of us who are involved in this launch, looked for hours and hours at all kinds of different resources. So we pulled our favorite tools and things into this project. And one of them, it looks to me like I'm quickly thinking, what am I going to do with people who don't know much about nonviolent action? How about disobedient images activities? That sounds cool. Using historical pictures to start the conversation. Let's click through to that. So if we click on that link, the next thing you get is a page on how to do this exercise. It's a quick snapshot, takes you 20 to 45 minutes, blah, blah, blah. even options on how to do it in person or in line. So actually, let's go to the next slide because I want to kind of do this with you. So here's an online speedy version. Here's what I would ask all of you, and please write in the chat your answer. What do these pictures have in common? What do you think these pictures have in common? I'm going to give a couple minutes. If people have questions about what they are, feel free to ask me, but I'll go around and I'll tell you what's in the pictures. So the very colorful picture on the bottom is a labor action in India. We have votes for women action happening in the United Kingdom. On the right, we have a child labor school action happening in the upper right. We have a picture actually from an old Greenpeace campaign, I think in the English channel, where somebody was dumping hazardous waste in the ocean. And we have a picture on the left corner of African-American students and white students sitting at a lunch counter. The old drawing is a woman wearing bloomers or knickers. So what do these pictures have in common? I see people are typing in the chat. What do we got? We have resistance, protest, overcrowding, struggle and resistance, nonviolent actions for change, pulling away power from those oppressing, access to rights. I'm going to give a few more minutes. What else do you think that they have? What can we take away from these images if we've never done nonviolent action protest before, never done any people power? Yeah, fight for rights. What do these have to say about our ordinary lives today? These are all examples of nonviolent protests, not people power. But what do these say about things today? Agency by everyday people to build power. Solidarity, never give up. Peaceful demo, trying to deliver a message. We owe our rights to people who don't give up. So that's really, really a simple message from this picture here. And if we had a lot of time or we were doing it in person, I might hand out these pictures and let people wander around the room to meet each other and talk about what they mean. But the real essence here is that ordinary things, good things that we take for granted, my ability to get up in the morning and wear pants without even thinking about it, or to go and sit with my Black friends at a lunch counter and have breakfast, or that I have a weekend, or that I have rights in the workforce, or that we have the right to ask corporations not to dump poisonous things on our property. These ordinary things that we take for granted, or that kids have the right to go to school. And granted, we're working on a lot of these issues in some countries continually, but what we have is people, ordinary people, who together wanted to make change, and they made change that impacts our life in ordinary ways all the time that we don't even notice it. So if we can go back just one moment to the slide before, you'll see that there's a really easy way for you to do this yourself. It makes it very accessible. And if you want, there's also a card which you will be able to download to be able to give you the cheat sheet, the really quick way of doing this exercise if you can't do it without notes. So I just want to thank you all, round of applause for participating in that action. And as we enter back to the closing, I think we're going to do a round of questions and answers from people on what you have to say. And I'll just mention too that tool comes from some good compatriots of ours, Issa Fremont and John Jordan, JJ Jordan, who live on La Zade in France, the autonomous zone in France that has prevented the Aéroport du Nord from being built, and now has a group of people living on that property with farmers, and it's most fabulous. So you can learn more about them too through that link. Great, I'll hand it over to, I think, Aziz and Rem to help us with the question and answer period before we close out.
I think we can transmit our screen. we can see a lot of post-its there. Can you, I think is Moanja helping us with that, I guess. It's basically, we would like to know what you're taking away from this session. You know, we've been having a lot of things. Today we have deep dive into the BATMo. We have been done. We have know the cards. We have shared stories of nonviolent action, about your experience, about how we use it, and also we have used about this obedient images that we have seen with Nadine. So we would like to hear you speak out loud about what you take away out of this session. We're eager to know your opinion, or if you have any questions, we all can answer your question as soon as we can. So let us know. You can also use the chat, of course, and it's please the questions, comments below. That's Nadine Hussein here, and we can add it to stick notes. Thank you, Nadine. So Catherine says, awesome work, beautiful travel, as always, creative, collaborative, smart, and effective. I always learn so much from you and from those engaged. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Catherine. Do you have any other inputs about this, about what we've done? What do you think about the BATMo could be useful for you? What for? Let us know what's important for us. Do you have any questions, anything that we haven't answered yet? It's something we're looking forward to today. Of course, you can also use the sticky notes. I think somebody is typing. Let me see what is up for me to read it.
I'll just say that
it says, we had from Mati.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, please.
This is Nadine. I was just typing that in our breakout room, Mady asked for a complete PDF to download for ease of download. And we hadn't thought of that, but we will work on providing that for you. So if anyone has other questions, I also want to point out there's a feedback button at the bottom of the website. So you can contact us at any point to suggest changes, make corrections. We'd really love to hear from you how you use it. And yeah. And you feel free to unmute, raise your hand, and Rem can call on you to make a comment too.
Of course. There's Megan who has like an important question. Great resource. Is there a way that we could stay connected with other facilitators as we start using the materials? I'm particular interest with connection with Latins and Latin American people. Well, it could be me if you want it. I can give you my email or Facebook. It's easier as you want. And I can send you a message about it, about how can we connect with that, because we're in El Salvador and we're working with, topics related to Latin American people. So yeah, also you can follow us at Plataforma Global El Salvador. I'm sending you a message in a minute before you leave at the end of the session. Yeah, Megan, we can be in touch with Plataforma Global El Salvador. And Mati said, sorry, I can see my name on the board. Went to grab a glass of water. I hope didn't miss anything. No, you haven't missed anything. We're talking about what takeaways are you having from this session? What did you learn? What are your questions? I'm gonna read the post-it as well. Somebody said, great resource. Is there a way? Yeah, that's what Megan said. Also great resource. Thank you so much. Beautiful travel. I'm proud and affiliated. Thank you very much for your comment. It's amazing to know about how many people's experience has gone into these tools, all of our comrades, all the ancestors, all the struggles. Thank you very much for that comment. Hopefully we believe that we have put a lot of love, people have a lot of love in this toolkit, so it's going to be very useful. So spread it, please, all over. Awesome work, beautiful travel as always, creative, collaborative, smart, and effective. And another one says, encourage and experience about using tools and tactics. Please, and also spread the word about the toolkit. It's for free. Remember, that's something very important that we have to say. Okay, let me see if there's something in the chat. Yes, thinking about BATMo chapter across the world. Thank you for wish to roll it in Kenya. Thank you. Regards from Kenya. Yeah. Yes, please resend the link. Okay, we'll send the link to Norwu Harris. Develop the skills of managing session and organizing. It's something that Sama said is taken away out of this session. Thank you very much for your comment. Okay, great. I have a direct message from Catherine. Okay, I'm gonna answer you. Please don't leave at the end of the session. This sounds like a great tool that we can help in organizing in my community. And also it says, Matthew said, is it possible to share the slide that shows the different models cards? It would be great a slide to use when train and facilitate. Okay, Shane has shared something for you. How do I access to download the BAT from the card? Already, Isis has shared a page, sorry, that you can do it from that place. And also you can look for beautifultravel.com, and then you can find here the information switch. And also we're gonna share it with you. Stephen says, please, how can I get affiliated to Beautiful Travel? You people are doing a great work. I think Nadine is the right person to answer that, but I think you can look for the page that already website that already exists. Yes.
Should I just share the website shortly, Rem? I'm also sharing the page. So many questions related to that. Use the Beautiful Travel website, beautifultravel.org. You go into the training tab, as Nadine already explained, for trainers, or in Spanish or Arabic or in Bangla. And then you basically just click, pulls you through to the BATMo resource here, where you basically can just download. And there you go. And as Nadine said, there's always, here's all the cards. You can actually download the whole pack in a free PDF form, as Message suggested. And then at the bottom of the page, request a training or join the Beautiful Travel newsletter if you're not familiar with any one of the members of this team. Then you'll get news of new resources. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Soren. Thank you, Nadine, for sharing this information. It's really important. A lot of people asking about it. So it's great that you get interested in these things, because that's exactly what we wanted. Caring Creative, organized and accessible support. Thanks for building community and capacity. Thank you. Thanks for all the greets that we're having, all the good comments. Please, how can I get affiliated? I already read that one. Building power and empowerment. She said, thank you. Kudos to all of this great new tool. Need to go to the next meeting. Big love and solidarity. Thank you, right? Okay. I think I'm having some connection troubles because I missed the chat. Okay, no, there it is. Thank you for a great lunch. I have to leave now. Thank you, Oliveira. Yeah. And new Toolkit, congrats to the whole team. Super proud to know you. Thank you very much. You do need, sorry, will it be possible to get a strategy deck sent to Europe? That's a great question. I think that he will answer about it.
So this particular deck you can download for free, but by yourself. And someday we are talking about producing hard copy decks in multiple languages. I think in Bangladesh might be the first one. Yes, hopefully soon. We do have the Beautiful Travel card deck available in English and in Arabic. Actually, that's also translated. It happened just before COVID, and they're still in boxes in Lebanon, I think. But we will we're figuring out how to get them into the world as well. So I think it's time for us to close out. We really appreciate everybody for being here. I'll hand it over to Wanja, I think, to close us out. if you're still there.
Monica lost her connection.
Go ahead, Anjana. You can close this out. We're so happy you've been involved.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending and also providing feedback and also sharing how you could use this card deck. A lot has happened within the team, and it's teamwork of a lot of people across different time zones. And we're really happy to share this piece of work with all of you. And we hope to be connected in some ways going forward as well. So thank you so much for your time and participation and engagement today. Maybe before we leave, we want to take a picture, if it's okay for you to switch on your video and we do something fun. And I think Mwanja is also back.
Yes, I'm so glad you remembered about the video. So as many of you can, please turn your screens on, give us a heart, give us a face, whatever you can. And a few of us are going to hold it for a few minutes because we're going to try to capture screen shares. Here we go. We're several pages, so we love it. So give us whatever you got. And we're going to try to capture all of them. We have different pages. So let's see who can turn their pictures on. And let's try to capture everybody who can. Give us a heart, give us a shout out. Let's see what we got. Power to the people. Come on, let's do it. So appreciate all of you and the work that you do in your everyday life. So we're really happy that you're all here and working with us. Stay in touch. Send us feedback.
Thank you, everyone. Stay in touch. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Bye.
All
Masalama.
resources.
Ciao.
Take care.
Thanks for you.
Shubhratri.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Spanish speakers. Thank you for coming.